Her words hit me like a glass of cold water to the face. I was sitting at the kitchen table, rehearsing what I'd say at the graduation, how proud I was, how I'd always seen potential in her. "I'm excited for tomorrow," I'd said. My voice was steady. My wife didn't even look up from her phone. "It was last week," she said. "Paying her fees doesn't make you that important." The silence after that sentence stretched and warped the air between us. Her tone was flat, but there was something underneath it, a quiet hostility that tasted like iron in my mouth. For a moment I thought I'd misheard, but she was already scrolling again, her thumb moving like nothing had happened. My chest burned. I looked at her hands, her nails, the little tremor in her wrist. Not guilt, not surprise, something else. It felt like the world had shifted half an inch to the left and no one but me noticed. I said nothing. I took a slow sip of water, tasting the metal of the glass, and nodded. Inside, the first crack formed. That night I couldn't sleep. Her words repeated like static, "Doesn't make you that important." I'd paid every semester. I'd listened to every late-night call about case briefs, every breakdown before exams. Her sister had thanked me once, softly, almost in secret, like she wasn't supposed to. And now, a graduation I'd been invited to for months had happened without me. Why? I replayed every detail of the past few weeks, her sudden trips to help her sister, her phone always face down, the strange quiet in the evenings. Little inconsistencies I had ignored now rearranged themselves into a shake I could almost recognize. I began to wonder if my wife's cruelty was just a mask for something else, an error, a cover-up, an alliance I hadn't seen forming. I didn't accuse, I didn't ask. I let the silence settle between us like ash. And in that silence, I started planning. The first step was her sister's social media. It wasn't difficult. She had posted a few photos from the ceremony. My wife was in all of them, front row, smiling, hand on her sister's shoulder. No sign of me, not even a mention. In one shot, my wife wore the necklace I'd given her the night before she told me she was helping her sister study. I scrolled for hours. Dates lined up, stories didn't. Every small inconsistency confirmed what my stomach already knew. Next came the finances, quietly, methodically. I checked transfers, payments, the tuition accounts. My wife had been moving money, small amounts but frequent, into her sister's account. Money from our savings, not mine, ours. I kept my face blank at breakfast. I held her at night, her body warm against mine, her breathing slow. Inside, I was cold steel. When the final piece clicked, I felt no rush of anger, only clarity. I ordered the papers, the reports, the evidence. I waited. Patience is underrated. It makes revenge feel less like a reaction and more like an art form. The envelope arrived on a Friday, thick, white, sealed. My handwriting on the front so she'd open it without hesitation. Inside, the bank statements, the tuition receipts, the signed affidavit from the bursar's office, showing my wife had listed herself as the sole sponsor for her sister, claiming every payment came from her. I placed the envelope on the counter before dinner. No words, just the paper between us. She opened it with a soft rip. Her eyes scanned, then froze. Her face drained first, then flushed deep red. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Finally, "It's not what it looks like." I didn't answer. I sat across from her, elbows on the table, watching her unravel. A tear slipped down her cheek, another. Still, I said nothing. Silence is heavier than shouting. I transferred the remaining funds out of our joint account that night. Every cent I'd contributed to her sister's education. Every gift, every loan. I redirected the next semester's payment into a trust under my name, a trust she couldn't touch, couldn't reverse, couldn't explain away. The scholarship office called 2 days later, confused. My wife panicked, called her sister, called me, begged. I listened, calm. "She needs that money," my wife whispered, her voice cracked. "She already had it," I said. "She just didn't know whose it was." A week passed. They came to my door, my wife and her sister together. Tears, pleading, explanations about family and help, and "we thought you'd understand." I looked at them the way you look at strangers on a train. "You built this without me," I said. "You can keep it without me." I closed the door before either of them could answer. The house is quieter now. Her things are gone. The joint account's closed. My name stands alone on every payment that matters. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if they expected me to explode, to scream, to demand, to break. But explosions leave debris. I prefer clean lines. I don't hate them. Hate requires energy, and they've had enough of mine. What I feel now is a kind of stillness. Like